Here you go. So start us off with a little bit of the graphics, and then kind of you can actually start off. So guys, generally speaking, let me just kind of go on a quick monologue with you. When I set up my boards, I don't ever have to outline my presentation because my board is my outline. So, you know, for instance, if you're using the graph method or the catalog method, you basically have your outline clearly displayed for you. If you have a diagram like this, just remember how you built it, what the logic is that underlies it, and then you can walk your way through it and talk through the presentation. In this case, what we've done is we've simplified the development of these diagrams to 3 categories. First one being raw data, second one being the conclusion, third one being the solution. So if you want to simplify your presentations, just think of that. Start off with the raw data. Say, you know, this is my dry bulb temperature, this is my radiant heat gain diagram, and so here's the connections. Let me show you how I you know, connected the two, and then, you know, this is my windrows, and let me show you how I connected that, what the correlations are, and it's really just, you know, and then you can jump into the column 3, which would be your solution. Just throwing that out there, guys, like your presentation is your roadmap to, sorry, your graphic presentation is your roadmap to your oral presentation, usually, if you want it to be.
So for all 3 of my graphs, I decided to use like a constant color. So red for the temperature would be hot, and then black would be cool, and then for the wind, you know, high winds would be red, and then the low winds or no winds would be black, and same thing with the radiation. So here in my windrows, I highlighted this area because that's the area that I want to focus on, because it ties down with this part of the year, because my wind studies from July 1st through September 30th, which is from here to around here. And also I decided to use a louver system because it's gonna help me use the winds that are coming from the west. It's gonna hit it and then direct into the building, and then the winds that are coming from the northwest is just gonna go, you know, I angled the louvers to go directly in, and the winds that are coming from the southwest are gonna be blowing up, hit that, and then channel back into the building. So that's why I decided to use that, and I didn't do the section one. So.
That's okay.
Yeah, and then Kevin made us do that. So yeah. for the solar heat gain for both parts of the year.
Yeah. So that one kind of fell off a little bit.
Yeah.
What really would happen is that you would, like I said before, to some of you, I don't know if I explained this to all of you, but what really would have happened here is you would have done the same exercise that you've done up here for the windrows for your radiant heat gain. And so you would kind of just draw a little section line, you know, like AA, you know, the building section line. You can do that here, and then show a diagrammatic building section here that shows you the sun angle for that day, right? So this is a range of sun angles that you want to allow, or sun times of the day, that you want to allow sunlight in. So that would happen in a couple places, potentially. Or if you're cataloging it, that's your column 3. Would all happen there. Okay? So generally speaking, the colors are much more controlled, right?
Except for the wind arrows that you use.
Oh yeah, because I used blue because when you think of wind, you think of cooling. So that's why I used blue.
So that's a good thought. It really is a good thought. So I would suggest in this case, if your wind is cooling, then your wind rows should also show cool
okay.
as well, rather than hot.
Well, it's showing. Oh yeah, well that is true. I was gonna try to save myself, but I didn't.
I make it a little more transparent. From here, for me, it's hard to read.
That's a very good comment. Yeah, yeah, I agree. It
For what, the windrows?
Yeah, when
The
you
overlay.
did your
Oh, the overlay?
transparent thing, yeah,
Yeah.
it's not light enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other comments? Maybe something that relates back to Harrison's presentation.
He used consistent colors. Louvers.
What's that?
We use the
Yeah.
same solution.
Yeah. So well, yeah, you have the same solution. Yours are a little more dense.
Mm-hmm.
What were you going to say about them?
Oh, just that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yours are a little more dense. I think that the wind technically will behave differently with it.
Mm-hmm.
In this particular case, and this is just me kind of going away from the graphics and a little bit more into design realism here. The west-southwest wind is probably, with that kind of louver density, not going to do much.
Oh, okay.
So in your case, you probably would want operables.
Operable. Okay. So would I just put a line right here and dash it to show that it can move, or how would I do it?
You could do that, or you could just show a thin. Obviously, I would thin out all of them.
Yeah.
And then I would maybe show like a thin dotted line in the other position or
Oh.
positions. That kind of gives you a sense. And you could also use a couple of different types of arrows.
Okay.
So if you have solid lines showing this, with a solid line showing the most direct wind that gets through, then you could use a dotted line for the other position with a dotted arrow that shows the wind getting through from that direction.
Okay.
Potentially. We'd
Okay.
have to see it to really figure out if it works.
All right. I'll work on that
Yeah.
for